Hello, guys. We have made it. It is week 6 of 2025. We are here. And so here's what happened. And welcome everybody. I hope you're doing well. I had this idea in my head of what I wanted to talk about today. And I knew I had to record it after work. And that's all I knew. And then I thought I had written down what I was going to talk about, and I didn't, because that's just how I work sometimes. So throughout work, I was trying to remember, couldn't figure it out. So I said, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to talk about that. Maybe that's why it's being, taken away from me, so to speak. And as soon as I got home, I had this overwhelming feeling like I need to do something. So I went live. And then as I was live, I was like, oh my God, I know what I'm supposed to talk about. And what I was supposed to talk to you guys about this week is about there's two things we go through in this human existence we call life. There's shame and there's guilt. And there's that feeling of having shame and that feeling of guilt, right? And some people think that they're both the exact same, but I'm here to tell you, as what was reminded in a book I've been reading by Brené Brown called Daring Greatly, is shame and guilt are two different things. Guilt is connected to our behavior. It's connected to how we act. Shame connects to ourselves. It connects to our heart and our soul and our inwards placement. And so as I was reading this book the other day, and I reread it again today, I just felt like I need to talk about this because I think we get so caught up in that placement of shame that we stop living, right? We can pick things apart about ourselves. We think we're flawed. And when I continued to read the book this past week, Brené Brown defines shame as painful feeling of being flawed and unworthy of love and connection and belonging. She also believes that shame is a primitive human emotion that can be destructive if left unaddressed, which I can see and I can agree with, having experienced shame within my life. She also said that shame can be triggered by specific memories or by quiet messages that build up over time, right? People talking bad about you, people telling you you're unworthy, you're not good enough. It can also lead us to a feeling of isolation and loneliness. And as I continue to read this book, I continue to have that feeling like I feel I have felt more shame in my life than guilt. And not that I haven't felt guilt or connected to guilt in some form, but shame is like that feeling of I'm unworthy. I'm not worthy of this love. I'm not worthy of this relationship. I'm fat. I'm right. And we sit there and we talk bad about each other. As I continue to read and the chapter, if you have the book Daring Greatly, like I'm reading the section understanding and combating shame. And women shame ourselves more than anything, right? She asked women to share their definition or experiences of shame, and here's what she heard from them. And I want to ask you ladies too, like in the comments of this video, and remember to like it as well, guys, just to give me that validation that you've seen it. And tell me if you can resonate with any of these, but it's like shame can come from that looking perfect, doing perfect, being perfect. Anything less than that is shaming, right? And so when you're like, I'm not perfect, I'm not what my partner wants, I'm not who I'm supposed to be, or being judged by other moms, right? That feeling of mothers or having that emotion or that connection to other moms, single moms shaming us or other women shaming us. Like I want to live in a society and in a world where women lift each other up, not talk down upon each other. And I don't know where you are, ladies, with this, but I just feel like we become so cosmetically judgmental of another woman. I look at women and admire things about them. It's not jealousy. I don't look at a woman and go, "Oh my God, look at her." Do you know what I mean? Because that's shaming them. And when I think of shaming, I think of pointing fingers. And this was taught to me quite young, but when you point a finger at someone, there's three pointed back at you. That should tell you a lot, right? The next one is being exposed, the flawed parts of ourselves that we want to hide from everyone get revealed in shame, right? It's that placement of, oh, look at her butt. Oh, look at her face, her complexion, right? Look how flat she is. Look how big she is. Look how, well endowed she is, right? Like there's those feelings, right? She's ooh, do you see her? Like how is she with him? And that kind of thing. We need to stop doing that. We need to live in a place. And if this is happening in your circle, girls, women, step up. Step up and speak up about this. It's that feeling of no matter what I achieve or how far I've come, where I come from, and what I've survived will always keep me from feeling like I'm good enough. Don't let your past shame you into not moving forward. Listen, I grew up on the streets. I was in addiction. I did things with my body to get my next high. If I continue to live to those voices in my head that say, ooh, you're a whore, ooh, you're a slut, ooh, you're this, ooh, you're that, I am going to become so depressed and so isolated from the rest of the world. I'm not going to want to be myself, right? So we need to lift each other up. We need to lift each other up and lift ourselves up. And like, if you don't have a circle in your life that you can go to have inspiration and empowerment, well, guess what? Spending a year with me in Spirit is exactly what you need, right? And maybe you need some part-time coaching or some services outside of that. It's okay to ask for help. All right. The next one is, even though everyone knows that there's no way to do it all, everyone still expects it. Shame is when you can't pull off looking like it's under control, right? We get that feeling, right? Another woman said, another mother said, never enough at home, never enough at work, never enough in bed, never enough with my parents. Shame is never enough, right? And then no seat at the cool table. The pretty girls are laughing. We've all encountered that shame moment in our life, right? I sat with the geeks. I sat with the nerds. I sat with the outcasts in school. I didn't get to sit at that cool kid table in the cafeteria. 12 shame categories, appearance and body image. So here's the 12 shame categories. And maybe this is going on in your life. Appearance and body image, money and work, motherhood, fatherhood, family, parenting, mental, physical health, addiction, sex, aging, religion, surviving trauma, and being stereotyped or labeled. The primary trigger for women in terms of its power and universality is the first one, how we look. Still in this day and age, we are so concerned about how we look and our appearance. Why? Listen, here's the truth. And I hope you're listening. So come in close. We chose before we came here who we are, what our life lessons were going to be, what we were going to look like. We chose that. Stop beating yourself up over how you look, because it truthfully is not what's on the outside that matters. It's how you are on the inside. And it has taken me a very long time to get to that place. As a teenager, I struggled with eating disorders. As an adult, it's come back sometimes. We need to just look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I love you. You're beautiful. If we can't get that kind of validation from someone else, at least we can give that to ourselves. Ladies, let go of the shame. Let go of the guilt. Let go of that feeling of not being good enough. Because you are good enough. You are worthy. You're an amazing, divine, blessed, divine, feminine energy. And you are standing in your truth and your authenticity of who you are. Men out there should be reminding themselves that they're kings. Women out there should be reminding ourselves that we are queens, and we need to be given that royalty, respect, and honor. Listen, 2025 came and you signed up for a year with me in Spirit. And I don't know where you are in the first 6 weeks of where you are, but I know that I can't be the only one struggling right now. And I just hope that every single week that we get to spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes together, that we will rise to that occasion, that you will take these weekly messages in. And maybe if you're listening to a week and you find a week and you're like, Tamara, I just want to share this with a friend. Send me a message. Let me know that, hey, this meant something to me, and I feel like I have a friend that might resonate with it. May I share it with them? Send me a message and just say that. And chances are, I'll say, yeah, right? Maybe one of those, the next 365 days, the next 52 weeks we have together, or 50, 47 and a half weeks that we have together. If there's one message, one weekly message, and you're like, oh my God, I know someone that could use this right now, just send me a message and say, hey, Tamara, that message touched me and I want to share it. And I'm going to tell you yes. Because if we can inspire another woman to rise up this year, to step into their truth, their inspiration, maybe they'll hear this week and maybe they'll be like, hey, I want that investment. I want to sign up for that. Right? Who knows? But what I will say is that every single week I will take different things that I've learned, or I will give you and transmute to you downloads and messages. Because like I said in the inspiration, life lessons, and empowerment is what you're going to receive. This this visual right here is what I hope to have you guys do, to have you stand up in your golden light of authenticity, to rise up and be that phoenix, to spread your wings and fly this year, to feel that empowerment, to feel that encouragement, to be who you're going to be. You want to have pink hair, blue hair, green hair, black hair? I don't care. If you feel good about who you are inside, that's what I care about. And if every single week I come to you and there's a message or some guidance, I hope it inspires you. I hope it helps you. That is the purpose of these weekly messages. So let go of the shame. Let go of the guilt. Be unapologetically, authentically you. Love yourself. Step into that confidence and that ownership of who you are. And watch others rise up because of your example. Help others to not shame themselves. If you see someone getting put down or belittled, step up and help that woman rise up, or man, or child, or teen. But you're worth it. So thank you for this week. I wish you guys an amazing continued week, and we'll see you next week for week 7. And remember, I love you. I love each and every single one of you. and I believe in you. And thank you for believing in me. Much love.